And well, our lead story tonight, flight disruptions and news coming in. Well, the DGCA or the Aviation Regulator has informed airlines, that passengers must be kept in the loop if there are any flight delays. This comes after there were 8 to 10 hour delays reported on various flights to and from Delhi. In fact, the Aviation Minister Jitendra Singh had said that the DGCA will be issuing SOPs, new norms for airlines, and in fact the DGCA has told airlines to publish real-time information on delays and take care of passengers. Of course, passenger comfort is at the focus, as the Aviation Minister also said. But thick fog and zero visibility was reported in parts of the national capital. Most severely hit, of course, were flyers, with nearly 400 flights to and from Delhi delayed. Passengers were stranded at the airport, many of them stuck inside flights at the tarmac for hours on end. In fact, an angry passenger assaulted the pilot of an Indigo flight amid a 12-hour delay. The airlines ordered an internal probe after the shocking video went viral on social media. But Aviation Minister Jitendra Singh rolled out a plan, and in fact, he also called out such behavior, saying that, well, this is unacceptable. Take a look.
Yet another day when Delhi woke up to a blanket of fog in the sky. Over 100 flights at the Delhi airport were delayed, leaving several passengers very upset. So much so that while a crew member on a Delhi-Goa bound Indigo flight was announcing a delay, a passenger lunged forward and punched him.
This pilot, he coming and saying like, "Oh, you guys asking too many questions, and now because of you we have to wait more." So actually he blamed passengers that because of them they have to wait longer, and this delay because of them.
Accused passenger Sahil Kataria was taken into custody and Indigo set up an inquiry, putting Kataria in its no-flyer list. Union Aviation Minister Jitendra Singh took note of the incident and commented that any sort of unruly behavior on board won't be tolerated, but at the same time said that passengers should not lose their patience and assured that all stakeholders are working to ensure passenger comfort. He also said that the fourth runway in Delhi, which can operate even at very low light, will also be functional. The Meteorological Department says cold wave conditions will continue in the north over the next 4 to 5 days. While flight delays may be inevitable, passengers only hope that airlines can work out a better system to alert them and avoid last-minute chaos.
रात को 3 बजे की थी, अभी 11:32 पे आई है।
अच्छा, अभी बहुत डिले फ्लाइट,
10 घंटा लेट है।
गेस्ट आ रहे हैं, सऊदी एयरलाइंस है, जद्दे से जो है वो 2 घंटा लेट है।
अच्छा
जी, तो उसका 8:54 का टाइम था और वो 11:17 पे उतरी है फ्लाइट।
Fog-led delay of flights has only added to the perils of the passengers. Now, Ministry of Aviation's new announcement for SOPs in order to combat the situation seems like a ray of hope. But can better communication be a solve to this problem? And can it end the perils of these passengers? With camera person Sushil Rathi, this is Sri Rupa Goswami for NDTV.
And well, it's not just an isolated problem or a one-off incident. Thousands of passengers are subjected to the same predicament. In fact, in an NDTV exclusive, passenger Rifka Verma, shared her ordeal of endless wait inside an Air India flight from Delhi to Mumbai. She talks about how the elderly and the children on the flight had to bear the horror. While pilots say they are as helpless in such a situation, passengers say the airlines need to be held accountable.
I think they knew that, they don't have a captain, they don't have a pilot, and yet we were, made to board the flight. At this point, after, so many hours of delay, if you don't have a captain, I would have expected that they at least cancelled the flight and they gave us a definitive answer, but we were made to board the flight. Because I feel that Air India didn't want to take responsibility of either reimbursing passengers or putting them up in a hotel and incurring that cost. We got onto the flight, no apology was made, that I'm so sorry that you suffered like this. One of the crew members even said, I don't know because I've just landed from Bangalore and I've been put on this flight. Fair, but your training still asks that the first thing you do is apologize. We were waiting to hear something from somebody, and there were in fact 4 Air India pilots who were flying in the business class cabin with us as passengers. And they didn't have much information either. So people are scrambling for information, and by this point, people are fighting with each other because they're tired, they're frustrated, and it just became very chaotic. And then in the name of food, they were giving us this cold food. So not much really was done to comfort the passengers. The air conditioning was not working on fully. And at this point, they could have just deplaned us, but they didn't do that.
So extremely worrying there. Where does the buck really stop? But moving now to the other big headline, politics around Ram taking an interesting turn. While the Congress High Command has dubbed the Temple Consecration event a BJP RSS project, Congress leaders in the UP, in fact, senior leader Jitendra Hooda also present there, embraced the festivities in Ayodhya with a holy dip in the waters of the Saryu. A balancing act certainly, and a political tightrope for the opposition parties with their no to the Ram Mandir invite but yes to Ram in their bid not to lose out on a critical vote bank. Makar Sankranti, a day that marks a new beginning, but for the opposition, their Dharm Sankat seems to be persisting. Boycott BJP's Ram Mandir consecration show of strength, yet remain true to Ram in a fine balancing act. Senior Congress leaders, including those from Uttar Pradesh, took a dip in the Saryu chanting Jai Shri Ram.
श्री राम लल्ला जी के पावन दर्शन करके आशीर्वाद प्राप्ति के लिए हम यहाँ आए हैं। मैं पहले भी आता रहा।
आस्था प्रभु राम के प्रति, प्रभु कृष्ण के प्रति हमेशा से रही है।
This is Rahul Gandhi crisscrossed Manipur on day 2 of his Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, soon after the Grand Old Party set the tone for the opposition by formally declining BJP's Ram Mandir consecration invite. Rahul will clearly keep the party busy with his yatra as the rest of the nation goes into the Jai Siya Ram mode, begging the question, is there a disconnect between the party and its workers?
उन्होंने आज तक राम मंदिर का विरोध किया, कोर्ट में भी इसके खिलाफ एफिडेविट दिए, और वही कांग्रेस के नेता आज पूरे देश का लोगों की नब्ज देखकर आज यहाँ पर मंदिर का दर्शन करने आ रहे हैं।
In Delhi, it was the Aam Aadmi Party's Ram Ke Naam moment. The party will kick off Sundarkand and Hanuman Chalisa parts across Delhi from Tuesday.
2600 से ज़्यादा जगहों पे सुंदरकांड का कार्यक्रम जो है आम आदमी पार्टी क्या करेगी। मुझे लगता है कि चाहे वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी हो या कोई और पार्टी हो, उनको इस चीज पे एतराज नहीं होना चाहिए।
On another front in Patna, Nitish Kumar got a warm welcome as he walked down to Lalu and Rabri Devi's residence with Lallan Singh in tow for the customary Sankranti Dahi Chura get-together. Tejasvi received the entourage at the gate. This breaking of bread between the allies comes amidst speculation about Nitish's role in the larger India bloc.
इनको पीएम का सपना दिखा करके इनको एनडीए गठबंधन से बाहर लाया गया और आज इनके सपना को इनके बड़े भाई चकनाचूर कर रहे हैं।
In Uttar Pradesh, BSP Supremo Mayawati chose Sankranti to mark a fresh beginning of sorts. She said no to any pre-poll alliance, steering clear of the India bloc, though a pragmatic Behenji hasn't ruled out a post-poll alliance.
हमारी पार्टी सभी विरोधी पार्टियों से अपनी दूरी बना के रखेगी.
With Congress leaders chanting Jai Shri Ram slogans in Ayodhya, to Aam Aadmi Party deciding to take out a Sundarkand in Delhi, clearly in run-up to the Lok Sabha elections, politics is hotting up with Ram Mandir taking the centre stage in national politics. In Ayodhya, with my camera colleague Pawan Kumar, Himanshu Shekhar for NDTV.
And meanwhile, in Ayodhya, the Temple Trust has laid out the plan for the consecration ceremony. Well, the temple will be open for darshan for devotees from the 23rd of January, a day after the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Take a look at what Champat Rai, the General Secretary of the Temple Trust, had to say.
22 जनवरी को प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के लिए जो न्यूनतम आवश्यक पूजन विधि है वो होगी। जिस प्रतिमा की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होनी है वो आप सब जानते हैं पत्थर की है। हमारे अनुमान से 150 किलो से 200 किलो के बीच में उसका वजन होगा।
And a senior colleague, Himanshu Shekhar, is joining us live from Ayodhya, the temple town, all set for the big consecration ceremony. So, Himanshu, I can see Ayodhya all lit up behind you. Well, we saw the politics playing out today, but what is the plan of the temple trust? And secondly, the BJP, of course, also looking to pitch this as a big event with multiple sort of promotional events and peripheral events also planned. What are those? Take us through that.
Well, definitely it is being touted as the biggest program ever planned in India's independent history. And as part of this historic Lord Ram's Pran Pratishtha ceremony, all preparations are now in place. That's what the trust has claimed today. And we have been told that the main puja rituals will actually start from 16 January. They'll go on for 6 days till 21st January. On 18th January, the idol that has been made by sculpting artist Arun Yogi Raj, who is a Mysore resident, that will be installed in the new Ram temple. And then on 22nd January, the trust has said that exactly at 12:20 p.m., the main rituals, as per the Vedic rituals, the puja will actually be performed in the new Ram Mandir. So all preparations are in place. We have been told that around 100 chartered planes are expected to land here between 21st and 25th of January. And especially around 120 Vedic priests have been invited to actually conduct the puja, the main ceremony when Lord Ram's Pran Pratishtha ceremony actually will be held. And this, of course, he is the same artist whose idol has been selected by all 11 trustees today. That idol will be installed there, as I said, on 18 January. And from then onwards, we have been told that the main Ram temple here will be closed for public darshan on 20th and 21st of January because then the security system will be tightened here in Ayodhya. And then finally, we have been told that from 23rd onwards, the main new Ram temple will be opened for armed devotees who are coming from different parts of the country. Vedant.
Right, Himanshu, thanks very much for joining us with that live update from Ayodhya. So the temple town gearing up for the big event, one of its biggest events perhaps in its history. But moving now to the big nuisance and the worrying trend of deep fake videos. And the latest victim is cricketing legend Sachin Tendulkar, whose fake video promoting an app has gone viral on social media. Well, Sachin Tendulkar took to social media to say that this rampant misuse of technology should be resolved and social media platforms should take swifter action. Well, Minister of State for IT Rajiv Chandrasekhar said tougher rules will be notified soon after taking stock of Sachin's deep fake video. And well, Sunil Prabhu is joining us live on the broadcast now. So, sir, the government, of course, met social media platforms just a couple of months back, calling for accountability and swifter action. But, you know, these deepfake videos really becoming a, big nuisance.
And a cause of concern, I would add to that and say, even after the government of India had spoken to intermediaries on the 8th of November, followed that up with, directions that had been done with rules. But now this continues. So this is a real menace. It's also infringes on your right to privacy and has, larger repercussions. So it's in that context, it's good that people like Sachin Tendulkar, who's a Bharat Ratna himself, and many others who have suffered from this, calling out and really looking at the social media and various intermediaries to really take action to ensure that their right to privacy, their videos should not be faked, And clearly, it's something that is something that has, as I said, huge repercussions in terms of artificial intelligence and various other ramifications. And hopefully, the Ministry of Information and Technology, after seeing Bharat Ratna Sachin Tendulkar's remarks, will be prompted to further take action against intermediaries who are responsible for allowing this to continue.
So thanks very much for joining us with that updates. Of course, a big nuisance there, but we as consumers of social media also need to be more circumspect. You have actors like Rashmika Mandanna, of course, Kajol, Katrina Kaif go through this, and now Sachin Tendulkar. But moving now to the big economic meet in Davos. World leaders are meeting for the big WEF meet that has kick-started in Davos. And the India story is a big theme at the elite conclave. Well, NDTV's Vishnu Shom caught up with the WEF president for an exclusive interview. And praising India's growth story, he gave the snowball analogy. Listen in.
Let's talk a little bit about India, Mr. Brenda. It is a global outlier in a sense. And the numbers, whether it's the World Bank, whether it's you or the IMF, continue to be very positive. Where do you see the India growth story?
So, as I think I mentioned to you last time we met, I see it as a snowball.
Right.
The snowball effect. So if you look at one of the mountains behind you, you can start with a very small one, and if you then push it down and it starts to roll, it goes faster and it gets bigger and bigger.
Right.
So I think what India is seeing now is like exponential growth. So the Indian economy is around $3 trillion today. We do expect, if things continue with reforms, that there is also peace and no conflicts, and there is transparency, there is a fight against red tape, investments in R&D and infrastructure. We think the Indian economy can end up like a $10 trillion economy, maybe in a decade.
And while staying with business news, the Adani Group will offer eligible residents of the Dharavi slums new flats measuring 350 square feet, which are 17% more than most space offered by any slum redevelopment project. Now, the Dharavi residents were earlier given houses measuring 269 square feet. The Adani Group is redeveloping the Dharavi slums in collaboration with the Maharashtra government. The new flats will have separate kitchens and toilets. The redeveloped area will also have several other amenities, including community halls, public gardens, dispensaries and daycare centers. Moving now to the big diplomatic headline. External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar is in Iran for a 2-day visit, and this visit is extremely crucial given the geopolitical scenario. Well, his meet comes amid the rising Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. In fact, he also met his Iranian counterpart, and he will be discussing the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. Multiple merchant vessels were attacked by the Houthis. 2 India-bound ships were attacked as well. And the US and the UK retaliated also recently, launching a full-blown attack on Yemen as well. But a critical diplomatic meet amid the Israel-Gaza war.